present the best education we can for our students. So thank you.
Okay, the next one is in the hybrid option. It is very difficult for the parents to know what assignments in the app need to be completed. I've had teachers respond to me in the app that we have completed an assignment too early that would be covered in class, and thus removed the submission from the app, marking it incomplete again. I've had assignments show as incomplete that should have been done on in-person instruction day, and unclear if the parents are supposed to work with the child to complete it. We cannot rely on 5-year-olds to tell us what is or is not covered in class and what has verbally been communicated as needed done at home. Please do not take this as criticism. I understand we are only 1 week in and we are all learning. To effectively work together, we need more communication. Can the teachers send emails outlining what assignments have been loaded in the app, when they should be started and when they are due, and if they are covered in class or to be completed at home? Is there a way to mark the assignments completed that were done during in-person instruction without the parent repeating it with their child?
First and foremost, thank you for the feedback. We do appreciate that, and I appreciate you saying that, you know, it is week 1 or so, and we're all working together on trying to make the best product that we can. I would encourage you to share some of this with your teacher, some of the frustration and the principal. Not be able to do every piece that you listed in your comment, but we can work together to consistently try to improve communication with the parents. So remember, this is, you know, first for all of us. We're all working through this together, and I'm sure things will sort out a little at a time, not overnight, but a little at a time. So I do appreciate the feedback. Again, some of the things you mentioned may be able to be done. So share that with your teacher. Some of things may not be able to be done at this time, but we'll continue to work together in this method to try to communicate and make sure we're all on the same page. And I do appreciate your patience, and I do appreciate our staff trying to organize this to the best of their ability, along with administration as well. Thank you.
Okay, the next question. It is my understanding that the children, our next question, it is under my understanding that the children are not allowed to play on the outdoor play equipment. However, public playgrounds are open. Can we make this a parent choice? One suggestion may be to get the sanitized sprayer similar to what is used at Wexford Swim School every 30 minutes between swim classes, and spray down the equipment between classes. Or let parents complete a form, and if they do not wish for their child to touch the equipment, that child can take their recess toy brought from home outside and play independently while the approved children play on the equipment.
I appreciate the feedback there too. I don't know exactly what type of sprayer the Westford Swim School has, but we do have some sprayers here in our district that we use for a variety of reasons. Right, our Health and Safety Committee and our Reopening Committee decided that we would give them a break during the day. However, we did feel it would be in the best interest, based upon some recommendations that we received after reviewing those from CDC, etc., that it would be in the best interest to have recess in the sense of on the physical equipment. However, I know that teachers are working to try to be creative to give some brain breaks during the day during that time, and also allowing them to, when possible, move around. So I know they are working on that. I appreciate where you're at, but at this given point, I wouldn't be recommending to use the equipment or to put a sign in, sign out sheet that says I can play or not. But that is something that's some fair feedback to see as we progress, and if things can improve in the next months, that could be something that we could definitely consider. So I appreciate the feedback.
Okay, and the next one, while it is understandable that several of the school measures are necessary to try to cut down on the spread of germs, many parents are concerned about the social, emotional, implications to our children. Parents have spent years trying to teach their children to be kind and share, and normally that is the fundamental item that schools naturally teach and reinforce in young children. However, our children are not allowed to play together and are discouraged from helping other students that are struggling to perform a task. I think we can all agree that frequent hand washing and sanitizing is important, and masks can be tolerated all day. However, do we really have to go to social distancing extremes with young children that are going to regress on their ability to interact nicely with others? Please reconsider the social emotional impacts and the risk benefit implications of the decision being made. Again, I realize not all parents share the same views, which is why I beg for you to put more of the decisions on the parents. For those that do not want the risk, give them options to stay home. For those that have children that desperately need that social interaction and better learning environment and do not have high-risk individuals at home, give them the option to send their children to a closer to normal school environment. Thank you for your time and consideration.
I would just say on this one, we did provide an opportunity for parents to choose between the hybrid method at this given point and the ability to go full remote. So we have provided that opportunity to them. I definitely think that social emotional needs are very important in school systems and for children. I realize that. At this given point, though, it would be still my recommendation, along with our reopening committee, to follow many of the guidelines listed there from the CDC and utilizing social distancing and those types of things. So I do appreciate and don't negate your views for sure. And I appreciate you bringing them up to us to consider. Thank you.
Are those all the comments, June?
Yes, that is it.
Thank you. Moving forward to legislative action for the meeting. Personnel, Mr. Angus?
Yes, at this time, I would move for the adoption of items 1 through 6 as presented.
Are there any questions? Do we have a second?
I second.
Second.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Angus,
Yes.
Mrs. Curtis,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Manganello,
Yes.
Mr. Metz,
Yes.
Ms. Pedigo, Ms. Pedigo,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Moving forward to finance and budget, Ms. Pedigo?
Yes, we have one item up for voting this evening, so I'm going to move for the adoption of item number 1 under finance and budget, please.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Angus,
Yes.
Mrs. Curtis,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Manganello,
Yes.
Mr. Metz,
Yes.
Ms. Pedigo,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Moving forward to the superintendent's report.
Yes, Mrs. Fisher, thank you. I probably couldn't say it any better than you did, and as Mrs. Pedigo said, but I just wanted to take a moment also to thank, our administration, our technology department, our custodians and maintenance, our secretaries, cafeteria, paraeducators, our teaching staff who's worked so diligently above and beyond to get us up and running, and every other person that works in our school district. It's truly a team effort. People picking up for each other, everyone working as hard as they possibly can to prepare for the kids. And I'd also like to take an opportunity to thank, the parents, the community, and our students. They've really done a nice job of being flexible and working together and being patient through these changes. and I think it's going the very best that it can. So thank you to each and every person that makes up the Ambridge Area School District community. Thank you to the board and all of our committees that helped to kind of put this together. And we'll continue to try to do the very best we can and improve. So I appreciate everyone's hard work and dedication. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Pressfield. And I will reiterate as well, and I failed to mention 3 integral pieces to our plan, which were the secretaries, the para-educators, and our Lori Hyman, our technology department. I work with several of them daily on a regular basis, along with Dr. Pascarilla. And again, I cannot thank you enough for all of the hard work you've put in through the entire district. So thank you again. And the entire board appreciates your hard work. Moving forward to the solicitor's report.
I have no report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a motion on the floor to adjourn the voting meeting and reconvene to discuss.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Moving forward. Call the meeting to order. The Meet and Discuss Board meeting of the Ambridge Area School District is held on Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. This meeting is being held to go over the agenda for the regular monthly board meeting that will be held on Wednesday, September 16th, 2020 at 7 p.m. virtually. We've already completed the flag salute. This meeting is being recorded for district purposes. It is or may be published in part or in its entirety on the district's website without the express permission of meeting participants. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Angus,
Here.
Mr. Campbell, Mrs. Curtis,
Here.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Here.
Mrs. Manganello,
Here.
Mr. Metz,
Here.
Ms. Pedigo,
Here.
Ms. Young, Mrs. Fisher,
Here.
7 present.
Thank you. Any correspondence this evening?
No correspondence.
And we have no student teacher recognition and no presentations. Moving forward with the public comment, again regarding agenda items only. In light of the state declared disaster emergency, the board has adopted modified public meeting and public comment processes consistent with the Sunshine Law. These modified rules have been published in a newspaper of general circulation and on the district's website. Public comments received in advance of this virtual meeting by the board secretary will now be read. We have completed all of those?
Yes, I have no more.
Okay. Moving forward with committee reports, education and technology. Hello?
Kathy,
Yes.
I have a comment. Grace DeBona, Harmony Township. Are we going to be getting back to public meetings in person anytime soon, Kath?
Miss Turnbull, can you address that, please? And yes, we will at some point, Grace, but I'll let our solicitor give a little insight as to that.
Okay, Kath, my only concern is all of the municipalities around you that are obviously supporting the Ambridge Area School District. We as elected officials have been back in business in public since June. So
Sure.
Go ahead, Ms.
I'm happy to address that. And so first and foremost, I serve as a municipal solicitor as well, and there is a marked difference typically in the attendance at municipal meetings versus school district board meetings. This board meeting right now with 62 participants would not be legally able to be held in any indoor space in Pennsylvania right now per the Department of Health. And so because the district is committed to following our health and safety plan, following all orders and laws relating to safety as they develop, it is not possible to have all of us in a room together and comply with the law. And so here we are with a virtual meeting, which does comply with the Sunshine Law, certainly. It complies with our health and safety plan. And it also provides an opportunity, I think, in a more expansive way for the public to participate and interact in our meetings right now. We will continue to look at this. We did do some benchmarking relative to other school districts in Beaver County and found that the way that we are handling this is not inconsistent with many of our neighbors. And we do believe that this provides the most expansive way for the public to participate and give comments and participate in our public process right now. So those comments are certainly appreciated and welcomed, although slightly out of order because it's not a matter of an agenda item this evening, but it is something that the board continues to review.
Thank you, Ms. Turnbull.
You're welcome.
Moving forward to the committee reports, please. Education and Technology, Mrs. Manganello.
Yes, we look at number 1, BVIU. It is recommended that the BVIU shall provide special education program and services on behalf of the Ambridge Area School District for the 2020-2021 school year. The cost for this service will be based on enrollment of the students in the BVIU special education program and services as presented. Number 2, technology purchase. It is recommended to authorize the purchase of new technology equipment and licenses of laptops via state contracted pricing through the district purchase for the 2020-2021 school year at a total cost not to exceed $60,000 for equipment and ancillary devices. Any questions?
Is the technology purchase because we have an increase in enrollment, or like what's the subsequent order for?
Dr. Pascarella?
Sure. First and foremost, we're hoping that, and Keith, Mr. King and I have been looking at this along with Mrs. Heim, and we do believe we should have some additional CARES dollars left for this in the grant. That's one thing we're hoping to, or at least, if not all of it, some of it. The answer to your question is we did order enough so that everyone did have a device. We are still going through folks that may have transitioned out, but also new enrollees coming in. And we've also had many staff members, when we're talking about substitutes needing technology in order to be able to do this. We're talking about, just having some spares when you have this number of devices in case something goes wrong. Not to say we'll be able to give everyone a spare. We're not saying that, but having some spares is probably a good idea. We've also used technology to give to more staff than you may have thought in order for them to be able to participate and also be able, if we did ever have to go fully online and fully virtual technology device. So I think this is going to allow us to get significantly more laptops that can be used both for students if necessary. To be clear, everyone does have a device right now. I just want to make sure, I think we all know that, but just to reiterate that. So I think this gives us a little more cushion, and it's something that our technology department really is strongly recommending. And we're hoping as we look through this, most, if not all of the 60,000 will come in underneath the CARES grant that we received.
Great, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Moving forward to Finance and Budget, Ms. Pettigo.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. President. So I have 5 items for discussion this evening. The first 2 items are the regular monthly bills for the school district and for the cafeteria. Number 3 is a capital project expenditure. It's recommended at $38,377.32 be paid from the Capital Projects Fund 39. Is there any discussion? Okay. And then number 4 is Resolution 2020-2021-03, tax exoneration. It's recommended to approve the resolution approving the requested tax exoneration in the amount of $1,092.05 for 284 13th Street, Ambridge, PA, a property recently acquired by the Historic District for the preservation of a historic Harmonist home. And just a side note, we talked about this at our chamber meeting. It's very exciting. The Historic District is looking forward to leveraging the opportunity for either investment or development, or to make it a place that can be added into some of the reasons why people come to Ambridge to visit all the historic offerings that we have. So Any discussion on item number 4?
Nope. Thank you for that input, though, Ms. Pedigo.
Yeah, it's the bachelor's.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And then number 5 is BVIU 2020-2021 IDEA allocation. It's recommended to accept the 2020-2021 Individual with Disabilities Education Act allocation to the Ambridge Area School District in the amount of $379,876. Any discussion on that final item? Okay, that's all I have today, Mrs. President.
Thank you. Moving forward to building and grounds, Mr. Angus.
Yes, I have just one item on the agenda, and that is the approval of the crossing guards for this year. The crossing guards are at the locations that have been deemed necessary by the local police as well as the school district, and it is a shared expense with the local municipalities.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, moving forward to athletics. Mr. Campbell is not here this evening, but we have nothing to report. Public relations, Mr. Metz?
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. Steering and rules, Mrs. Kehoe?
Nothing for discussion this evening.
Thank you. Legislative, Ms. Young was unavailable this evening as well. We have nothing to report. Excuse me. Legislative, Ms. Pedigo, could you read the portion on the PSBA officer elections, please?
Yeah, of course. So up for
I
discussion.
apologize.
That's okay. Up for discussion this evening. We actually have PSBA officer elections. It's recommended the board secretary be directed to cast the vote of the Ambridge Area School District for the election of the following PSBA slate of candidates. So that will be filled in for the voting meeting. And
Yes.
members were given instructions on their choices so that they can do their proper research.
And all of that has been, Mrs. Mueller forwarded to the entire board so that you can review those before next week. Any questions from anyone at all?
So you'll just fill those in next week then?
Yes. I would like to give the board time to go over their
Sure.
biography, bios attached so that they
We'll
have
just
time.
leave it blank and you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sunshine Law?
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Board of School Directors held an executive session on Wednesday, September 9th to discuss personnel and attorney-client privilege.
Thank you. I have a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Good
wonderful
night.
evening.
Good night.
Good night.